Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Witcher Bloodletting, Session 12, Chip Off the Old Block, Part 4, but not final part. All right, so let's jump into it. You guys had walked up to Lord Taviston's home,
No, it didn't happen.
and did you knock on the door? There's like a knocker on it, of course, like a big, large knocker. So you grab the thing.
Before we knock, I pause to look at them and go so how are we gonna convince him exactly that it's in our best interest to destroy these eggs?
Too late, Bastion's already knocking. Huh?
No, I would have
yeah.
I would have held up a hand to block him from doing so.
Doesn't matter, just cause a distraction.
I do have certain abilities as a Witcher that I could.
You guys have your own sign magic, right?
No, I think he means his swordsmanship.
That's not what I mean. Not for this particular.
He's not gonna wang a dang him, not yet.
Wangadang is Wangadang is not a thing that anyone says.
I know, I don't care.
Axie side.
So just to clarify, how much can your Axie actually do for us here?
Probably enough to keep him busy. Actually, let me look at this real fast. It's not it doesn't work the same as it works in the game.
No,
it's kind of weird to me.
It's not a magical I win button anymore.
Yeah, in the game, you could just straight up. They basically lose their minds and just kind of go blank.
Yeah, it's like a full-on Jedi mind trick.
Now it's this is I'm trying to intimidate.
Well, hold on. Let me see something on your sheet. Is that the combat one?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can use that.
That's the stunning one. Okay, yeah, we could try to do that actually. So yeah, I could
just stun him for the as long as you maintain concentration.
Yeah.
So we can stun him, and then how does that
try
help?
to get him inside first, so that he's not just standing outside.
Of course, we can arrange to have a meeting with him in private circumstances. He has seen us before. He knows of our dealings. That should be enough to get a private audience without any of his servants present.
All right.
So we get a private audience. Bastion uses Axie and holds it, and we go find the egg.
I think that sounds like a good plan.
And we're destroying it, or are we keeping it?
Destroying them all.
I agree. All right, very well. I believe this is probably the not our worst plan. Surprisingly, not our worst plan.
Try to get saliva though, if possible, with an unborn
or blood.
All right, Bastion, give me a hard knock.
You're supposed to...
the hardest knocks.
8-10 seconds pass, no answer.
Bastion, do you want me to... Let me try.
Yeah, use it. Use the knocker.
I assumed he used the knocker. Did he not use the knocker?
Bastion probably didn't know it was a knocker.
Yeah, I just banged on it. I was just
the only knockers that Bastion knows. Never mind. So
yeah, just use the knocker this time.
Okay. I used the knocker this time.
So you grab the knocker and it has that metal on wood on kind of reverberating. Boom, boom, boom.
Right.
8, 10, 15, 20 seconds pass. Nothing.
Well, we tried, boys.
I step back. Is there a balcony or something that I can see?
Looking up, there's no balcony off of the front door where this area is here.
Right.
But looking around the side, the area that would kind of overlook a broader, a little bit nicer spot than just the main road. So this is be 90 degrees, around the corner. Yeah, you do see a balcony off of the second floor. Off of the third floor.
How high would that be in feet?
So hold on, old school. So you go a little bit above. So hold on, about 25 feet for the second floor. And then, because there is a third floor for this building as well. Over in the third floor area, in the back, so the other side of the building, you would also see a small balcony that almost looks it would probably be a personal one off of a bedroom or whatever. That'd be, so that's 35 feet up for that one. And then of course there's the roof above that.
So before we make any decisions, I have a bit of a bad feeling about this. It's possible that the creatures have hatched and are in
but
there.
are contained because they're babies.
Yes. And our friend is stone, potentially.
I wouldn't call him a friend.
A bunch of his servants.
Well, acquaintance.
Okay.
I know a way around this situation. And I start walking around the block to like the balcony.
Okay, second floor balcony, which is the big one. This is a balcony that you would use like probably off of a room where you have events going on, something like that. I'm sorry, go ahead.
How large is this door?
The door is a double door. You know what I mean? Much like you would see for like a church. They're not as tall or broad as that one, but much like what you would see for a church where like each side of the door is about 2/3 of a door. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Do you think Talabast and Bastion can knock it down?
No, there's no need to knock any doors down. Let's not do anything hasty.
We might let the creatures out if they are.
I did consider that, but if they're little buggers and they scarper past us, or we miss
Please,
them and they make
I have
it
a
out.
plan.
Wow.
Let's see what Bren has to offer.
Go ahead, buddy.
You guys make your way around the corner. Bran, what do you do?
I look at the balcony. He's like, I reckon I could make my way up there. I could make my way inside and let you guys in.
Okay.
Careful if the creatures are in there.
Yeah, good luck.
So, what's your plan, Bran?
I Misty Step.
So, your Misty Step is how many feet? 20?
30.
30. So
I asked for a reason.
Yep. So you like look up there. You just kind of concentrate for a second, and you transport up to the on top of the standing on the balcony right outside this room. So now
Brent's not exhausted anymore, is he?
No, not anymore.
I could try to throw you up there, Leonard, if you want to help.
No, who got it?
Okay.
He probably says actually eating something.
Yeah, I'll be eating something.
An apple to make him look like even more of an asshole.
Hey, the last hour was me. So you transport up there, and you're standing on top of the actual balcony itself. And you look about, and as I said, like that clearly was a balcony that's designed for like kind of, you know, if there's events or whatever going on. So you go over to where the wall is, kind of gathering your senses again. Look over to where the wall is. The wall is, you know, large doors that lead out, but you know, this is a medieval age. It's not like big glass sliding doors or opening walls or anything like that. It's just large doors that, you know, would swing open to that area. You know, heavy kind of reinforced sort of doors. So you go over to the first door, and you know, try to like jingle the handle, see if it'll open. It's unfortunately locked. But when you go over to the other door,
Are there any windows? Are there any windows?
that look in? There are actually windows, yeah, but there's not a lot of light that peers in there. That goes in, so it's kind of like a dimly lit room. You can make a perception check if you'd like.
Yeah.
Waiting for it to. Okay, I was like, that took forever to appear.
Took a while, yeah.
And I honestly didn't even see the D. Okay, and now the D20's rolling. That's crazy.
Oops.
Oh no,
Well, that's just Leonard being a fuckboy.
That was me.
That was weird. Yours didn't even pop up. It was super weird. Anyway, so
I was checking to make sure it worked, and I rolled a 1.
you look inside there and you look about, and you see nothing stand out. Just kind of like shadowiness inside there. You know, dimness. There's some tables. Nothing really jumps out at you, literally or figuratively. So those again, doors that would be used for entertainment. When you go over to check out those doors and try to open them, they're latched shut. They're well latched shut. So you go over to like the side, and there's like a smaller servant's door, one that they would kind of like use to come in and go, somewhat out of sight. And unfortunately, one of the servants had actually left the door unlocked. Unfortunately for them. So you actually go over, jiggle the handle, and it's like one of those like half caught things where you like it's not quite locked, it's not quite open, so it takes you like a moment of precision to open it. I'm actually gonna have you make me a sleight of hand or dexterity check, DC 5, so very easy for you. And you easily like pop it open and you go inside and you start looking about. So when you go inside this this chamber here, like I said, it's a place for it has tables, almost like a ballroom. but not like a grand ball you would find in a palace or anything like that, because the building's just simply not that large. But something that could comfortably have like 30 people in it being entertained, including, if you had people dancing and whatnot. That's why you would spill out onto the balcony, so there could be room to that thing. But, not like groups of people dancing, like a handful of people, because again, the kind of dancing that they do and the kind of clothing that they wear is too big to have like everybody dancing at once sort of a thing. You know what I'm saying?
I cast Detect Magic.
So you cast Detect Magic, and immediately you start getting signs of a bit of magic that happens in the room. You start seeing kind of like a swirl of energies and like going throughout there. Roll me an Arcana check to kind of like really take in more than just what you see. So as you're trying to like look through the magics and the swirls that you see, you know that the magic is clearly permeating the air, but you can't quite detect like what school it is or what kind of magic or how old it is. You just know that some of it seems old, some of it seems fresh, but it's really hard to differentiate between the different parts.
Does it seem to come from anywhere, or does it seem to go anywhere, or can I not discern that either?
Where you're currently standing, it just seems to be in the room, but it doesn't seem to have like a particular source or anything like that. But I imagine you continue moving about and trying to see like where.
Yeah, I'll try to make my way through like the servants' areas.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
To find the front door, basically.
Sure. So if you're specifically looking about for like the different servants' doors and whatnot, those are pretty easy to detect, because even when you're wealthy and you want everything to look nice, servant stores always intentionally look like crap, because it's like a status thing. Like, even though like I could make this look pretty for everybody else in the room, I want everybody to see
you don't get to use the
through a
fancy
crowd.
doors because you're a peasant.
So it's pretty easy to detect which ones they are. Also, often they're a little too low, so you have to kind of like duck to get through them. So, then Neil was going to say something. So you guys, so you go walking through there.
I was going to say, if like, I mean, like, this is only 25 feet up. If depending on how long we reckon this all would have taken, Tao would just be like, he's with a couple of witches. He'd be like, do you guys just want to climb up there as well?
No.
I can. I have no problem with it.
Just sending one person into a place where they might get turned to stone seems silly to me. We could be waiting out here for several hours before we realize, in fact, he's turned to stone.
Listen, Talbast, Bran's been trying to prove his worth for a while, and, we don't really give him the opportunities. And, he's made some mistakes. I think it's time we let him have his own retribution. He doesn't need us to babysit him. He's a grown man.
Leonard really just wants me to turn to stone again.
That kind of makes sense, I suppose. In that last fight we were in with the witch hunters, he did literally nothing.
You're also frozen.
Yeah, you are. Your internet's frozen there, buddy. Yeah, are you still there?
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay.
No.
He's back. All right, just
It's very strange.
Yep, everybody off except for him, real quick.
Did it die for anyone else? Or
Yeah, it was you. You straight froze. Nobody
You were
else.
frozen for a while.
Go
It
ahead,
just
Rick.
died.
Go ahead, Rick.
Oh,
And then go ahead. All right, perfect. Thank you, guys. We have like a
Sorry.
pattern to it. Makes it nice.
Where was I?
I was explaining the reasons why we shouldn't go help him.
I suppose that
you were just dumping on me for doing literally nothing.
makes a bit of sense.
But maybe if we hear like a scream for help or something.
Do
then
you think he'd get a chance for that? I mean, he didn't scream before when he turned to stone.
Yeah, but the last time it wasn't because he looked at it.
I think it is a good idea that at least one of us go in there. I'm willing to.
All right, but if he gets upset, I'm not the one to blame.
I don't
Maybe-
think
maybe
Graham
we
would
should
be
just-
upset with me.
I mean, we don't want him to unlock the door either, right? I mean, there's no telling that he will actually be able to unlock the main door. If it's not a bar and a key,
It's a fucking door, please.
Hey, it's out of game. Cussing. Only cussing
no
game.
fucking cussing, you little bitch.
See, that's in game. That's in game because Leonard's mean.
Hella cunt.
I imagine he wouldn't unlock the door and let them open it if the creatures were right at it. If he
it's that or die for him.
All right. Look, if one of you guys can throw me up there, I'll go check in on him and I'll report back and see if he's okay. You guys, but I'm gonna say you guys made me do it. Okay?
Okay. I will accept that.
You sure you don't want me to come with? I reckon that'll be an easy climb.
Save your energy, mate.
All right, we're doing
less chance of me getting turned to stone. And I presume, like, me and Bass both get down into, like, one foot each in the...
Roll me your athletics check, please.
With advantage?
They're working together. Do they get advantage?
Yeah, what's...
Well, I mean, we're both taking the help action here, surely.
I guess just whoever has the higher athletics rolls with advantage?
No, he would be rolling with advantage on acrobatics or athletics, because we're just taking help action.
No, I mean,
it depends on Scott. But...
I meant me and you.
Do you want them to roll athletics and I roll acrobatics?
I mean, because of the quality of, because of what it is that you have to climb, it's not like this thing is designed to be climbed or something like that. It's going to have to be an athletics to climb. You know what I mean? It's a matter of you don't have the agility to assist you in this.
Can they throw me up?
He's rolling athletics. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You really wouldn't do acrobatics for climbing?
Not for this scenario. Acrobatics. So climbing in general is a strength-based skill. But there are times where you can use agility to be able to get you into spots you know what I mean? So it's like one of those that you're climbing up a wall, like a wall.
I would agree.
Have you ever climbed up a brick wall before, like real life?
So, and as a person who isn't as strong will have an easier job there.
Yes,
they need to have some strength.
A person who's not as heavy as strong.
But like a bodybuilder will not make it up a brick wall.
Well, depends on the kind of bodybuilding the person does, but it's all about, like you were just saying, strength and
the wall
pulling
is
and
too.
whatnot. So yeah, there's a lot of details.
Use more strength if it.
Hey, just fucking toss him up there, please.
Yeah. So athletics is what we're going to work with for this one. Though there are times where I have and will use agility
with advantage.
Yeah, that's fine because you're giving like the 10 fingers or whatever. And you can even get somebody over your head. Nobody's so weak that they can't do that. So that's fine.
Here we go. Here's the embarrassment.
Okay. So
die immediately.
I mean, the wall is not meant to be easy to climb. So you do get him up there, but the problem is Leonard, while he's up there, doesn't have a good handhold. Again, like if it was easy to climb up a noble's house, it would probably get robbed much more often. So it's set as a DC 15. So he does struggle a bit to try to get up there, and unfortunately is not able to make much by way of headway by himself. So you can roll for me again as you are not able to kind of like get a good handhold. But this time, roll for me.
Drop down and have them throw me again, kind of situation.
Oh yeah. You like restart. Okay. Yeah, reset.
Okay.
It's fine. Okay, and this time it's almost like one of those you can almost blame it on their positioning. You know
2, 3.
This ends up being like a very easy, like you grab, hold on to the rail, the balcony itself, kind of like loop your way up. Please.
Yeah, I imagine they just throw me over the railing.
So you easily get like hoisted up there. Not an issue.
All right, so I'll lean over the edge. Hey, good throw on that second one. And then I'll head inside.
You get like a joint thumbs up from Talent Bass, like yeah.
So you guys, you're up there. Do you like let down a rope or something for them to join you too, or do you just go in?
A rope.
Okay, so you are you trying to be stealthy at all, or?
I don't think so.
Okay, so you just kind of go in to find him. Awesome.
Yeah,
so you have a very high investigation.
I was sorcerer. Where would I be?
Yeah, you have a very high investigation. You very quickly kind of like discover which way.
Pushes left trigger, gets that Witcher senses, sees footprints.
Yeah, it's very very easy for you. But now let's go back to Rick, who was already up there. You had stuck to the servants' chambers and trying to make your way through. Again, that room right there, you didn't really see anything other than the magic swirls and so on and so forth. So now you're making your way, trying to find your way to a stairwell to go downstairs to open the door for them. While keeping your concentration on your ability to detect magic. So as you're making your way through this area, I want you to do me a favor. Roll me an intelligence check and... my apologies. An investigation check a perception check, and an arcana check. That's 3 from Rick.
Oh my god.
Many dice.
And he's ramping up.
That was pretty funny.
Meh.
Ha. Yeah, he's another May Ha away from,
Yeah, he's got 2 more ramping up rolls.
So you are walking through this kind of chamber, trying to see what it is that you can detect. You do get a stronger sense of what magics it is around you as you studying them a bit more, watching their swirls, seeing their patterns, so on and so forth. One of the things that you do notice, that Arcana check, is that the magics don't actually seem to be going through this portion of the servants' chambers, though they were out in that area. When you do leave the servants' hallway into another hallway, you do sense that presence of magics again, trekking along that hallway, trying to be quiet and whatnot, making your way downstairs. You eventually will find another servant's passageway, and you're like, I think this might be the way. And so you go in there, and you're trying to make your way down. Now with your 10 investigation, what that was trying to kind of discover which is the easiest way down. That was kind of your logical, how do I get downstairs? And a 10's fine for figuring it out. So you are constantly making progress forward, if not the perfect path. With your perception check, you do eventually come across a hallway, because it's been quiet this whole time, where you stop and you see there is someone, or was someone, on the grounds that have their arms up like this, and from the waist down, there's stone, and from the shoulders to the arms and the head, there's stone, but the entire middle section of them has been turned back to flesh and has been mostly consumed and is somewhat rotting. So you notice that.
Figured, yeah.
In another area, you see that there is another person that was not far from that person that had fallen. They were running forward, and they had looked back and seen what was happening, and they had turned to stone with this twisted body motion that almost looks impossible to do. But when you realize oh, twist back, look, go back forward. Okay, that makes sense. They had turned to stone that way, and you're kind of taking in these sights. That makes you.
He's quite the sightseer.
That makes you take in. That makes you realize if there are any noises here, maybe survivors, or maybe just them. Roll me a stealth check to start moving quietly.
Fuck.
Welcome to Dead Space, medieval version.
Okay.
Fuck.
Unfortunately, you're not very quiet walking through castles, or sorry, not castles, but wealthy chambers. The tightness of these walls, the stone, just the where you step. You're just not very careful. You're so absorbed with looking at the magics and everything around you that, So you're making your way, and you are unfortunately making a bit of noise. Actually, Messy, your character kind of looks about. You get your Witcher sense going on. You look and you see. All right, clearly he went this way. This door was ajar. Huh, left that door ajar too. All right, well, this is interesting. You kind of follow after him. You're
smells rotting a lot sooner than he does.
What'd you say, Messy? You were muted.
Huh?
Oh, okay, I thought you said something to us. So you're making your way, and you actually do smell that rot, whereas he wouldn't have, because it's, I suppose, fresh enough that you it really hasn't set in. But you have
also, Witcher senses can really just pick up smells that normal humans just can't pick up.
That's actually in this game. There's actually later levels you can choose to take that mutation. So you can really smell the iron and the rot and whatnot that's starting to set in over in that area, and then you actually start hearing scraping and steps and whatnot. Unfortunately, Bran is so loud that you can easily pick up where he is and close the gap between you and him very, very easily. You don't need to roll me an investigation or perception because you have really high rolls. You can roll me a stealthy if you'd like, Messy.
My name is Leonard Carradine, and I am an assassin. Shing!
Killed my father.
Do you roll stealth?
We're gonna have a really cool scene now, like for the trailer of Witcher 2, where Messy's running forward through all these shattering statues and then cutting off Bran's head.
Yeah, that's the wait.
So you're moving forward, and you're just quietly moving forward and whatnot, trying to make your way over to where Bran is, and because you can clearly hear noises and whatnot, and then you notice your medallion vibrating, And so you think to yourself, like, okay, yep, my medallion's vibrating. I'm getting close to the stupid source that always messes with this damn thing, so I never know whether it's actually picking something up. And
I say that out loud a lot.
as you're making your way towards him, all of a sudden you hear a noise to your side. You were following one ahead of you, and you look to your side, and you can actually see walking on the ground, like prowling its way forward. Its tongue flicks out for a second and goes back into its mouth. You see a six-legged creature, not as small as the one that you had seen before, a bit larger in size. This one about the size of a German Shepherd, and like how high up its back goes, and a bit longer than a typical dog in length, is making its way, prowling its way down the hallway over towards the sounds that you had heard yourself. You easily kind of like tuck behind a pillar for a second just to kind of gather your thoughts as you see this thing moving by. Its eyes set forward, its eyes almost glowing yellow in the darkness. Its tongue flicks out one more time as it keeps creeping past you. What do you do, Leonard? Because it doesn't really matter what he does.
Do I see him?
You know he's up ahead of you. You didn't see him yet. You see the beastie going towards that direction.
The beast doesn't see me either.
It has not picked you up yet.
I think I'm gonna. How far away am I?
So from where you think
The basilisk.
Yep. So what's his name was out of sight, but that's probably because around corner or whatever it is. You thought you were close enough that medallion works within 30 feet, right? So you thought you were close enough that you were picking up the source. So you think you're kind of like within that 30, 40 foot range from him.
Okay.
But the basilisk itself is only about 15 feet from you. And as it's walking by, just because you're so light-footed and just so instinctively like well to hide, there's like a pillar in like the hallway you're walking in. Just like an ornate thing. Probably doesn't even have any structural integrity, and so support. So you like tuck behind it as it's 15 feet away, walking by.
All right. You're probably gonna make me roll initiative, but I'm gonna come out of cover and do my best to stealth up right behind it, like within a couple feet.
Okay, so it's funny. I thought you were just gonna let it pass. Cool.
Me too.
So you go trying to creep behind it. No initiative yet. It's actually a stealth check.
Contract, right? So
yep. It's a
stealth check.
Stealth check. Yep.
I was waiting for that 91. He's like turns on.
Let me.
You have received in total, I think, 3 Witcher senses. 1 was already applied and taken back. Nope. Yep, 3 in total. I don't know if the 2 were added to your pool. Would you like to add a Witcher sense, or are you happy with your 13?
We have 5 now.
Should be 5, yeah.
There you go.
Were they already added, or they weren't added?
I added them just now because Scott didn't say anything about the other 2 just now.
No,
Just the one that we got.
I add them if it's kind of like in chunks. They
okay.
come in slowly throughout the session.
I'd Witcher sense that.
I'm gonna use one.
Right, down to 4 again.
For 17.
Oh, don't forget you can click that button to make like the ding, the thing.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Let me do that. That's
you
fun.
want to do that instead? Okay, sure.
Yeah, why not?
Rolls a 1.
Yeah, rolls worse.
Does it re-roll if I do it?
It does, but go ahead, click it.
Okay, that's fine. I'll give a fuck. Oh, it's right here. Okay.
Ah!
Oh my god.
6 makes you roll better. Nice.
That's a 19.
Nice, good for you. All right, so you do the Witcher sense, so you're kind of like creeping up behind this thing. You're able to get all the way up behind it. It has no idea that you're there. Clearly, it's on the prowl, following something. It's kind of like got its own like creeping along, and these things aren't very quiet. So it's got its own like creeping along, trying to, as it's like different talons are clacking into the stone, scraping as it moves. Its tail kind of like swooshing on the ground below. The top, it's trying to keep its tail as high up as possible so it doesn't make too much of a noise. But it's just such a large, heavy tail that it kind of like sweeps on the ground and makes like a small scraping noise, that perfectly concealing your footsteps as you come sweeping up behind it.
Okay. Now part 2. I'm going to really quickly, if possible. I know it's not gonna go off really quickly, but I'm gonna try to take out a smoke bomb and light it, and then drop it and dive on top of the creature.
I like it. Initiative.
Okay. All right.
You should have put the smoke bomb in its mouth.
Comes to the natty one.
What I need everybody to do, except for Rick and Leonard, roll the other two of you. Roll me perception really quickly.
Oh, don't screw me over, perception. I'm warning you, buddy.
Watch, we're gonna get both natty ones.
Hey.
So neither one of you are aware of what's going on inside here, no matter what yet. Rick, roll me initiative as well.
Feel this, Bastion. Come
What
on.
do you need me to roll?
Initiative,
come on,
please.
nothing compared to this.
So
A
this is
2.
Yep, that's accurate.
Oh no!
I still beat the thing.
I rolled another goddamn natty one. That's ridiculous. These ones because. So I changed their I'm altering their stats based off their age. Like they're getting stronger but slower as they get older. They have a 10 dexterity right now, and I rolled a natty one for one of them, which is absolutely hilarious. All right, so and that's the first one. That's the one that actually matters at the moment. So
Ah, thank God.
Almost fell.
so this guy should actually, for simplicity, I should just put you in GM layer.
You
So-
should fudge your dice rolls and not tell me.
You can see the dice rolls. So here's a
Fudging
fun thing.
dice rolls is clearly, it goes against God and man and nature.
So one of the things I want to say is we rolled initiative for the sake of round 2 because round 1 they're surprised, which means they don't get to act. Then round 2 it kind of applies, and same as I did last time, the natty 1 is going to apply on round 2, which just absolutely sucks for me. So round 1, which is just surprise rounds. You had already snuck up behind it, and then you're initiating combat. Combat being, you're drawn smoke stick, you light it, you drop it, right? So it's kind of like
Smoke bomb.
interactive object, action, boom. But then you want to actively jump on the thing, right? So this brings us. I'm sorry.
Do I need to use that?
Oh, I suppose technically. I mean, it doesn't do
There you go.
damage, does it?
No.
Stick it right with the pooper.
What happens if you click that? Nothing.
Excuse me.
Yeah, there's no damage type.
Yeah, cool. So
He's
you
blowing smoke out of his ass.
you drop the smoke bomb. It fills the area with smoke. Now, the smoke, does that lightly or heavily obscure the area? Can you look that up, Neil, for me for the rules for that, whether it be from the
It's a
Witcher,
smoke bomb.
the Witcher rules books, or just smoke? Oh, they work like smoke sticks in the PHP. I believe those exist in there, but.
Yeah, I'll look
There's
it
the
up.
rules anyways. Look that up for us, please. Thanks. So, moving on. So that was round 1. Was you? That was surprise rounds. Now it's round 1. It's your turn.
All underneath them.
You jump on the thing. So
Jump on it.
You jump on it, trying to like grapple it. You try to like just stay behind it, like try to like Crocodile Dundee this thing.
I'm jumping on it, and I'm gonna try to pin its head down, like put all my body weight on its back, and like kind of headlock its neck.
Okay, I understand what you're doing. Roll for me a an athletic check, please, sir.
Almost like alligator wrestling, I guess.
Yep.
Yell,
Got yourself a gator.
Ah, shit. Fuck.
yell crikey.
Whap.
Oh, crikey.
How do you feel about
Crikey,
that roll?
mate.
How do you feel about that roll,
Um,
sir?
I feel like I'm not a bitch, and I'm gonna take it.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
Really.
Oh, damn.
There's the guy who just witcher sensed another stealth check. That was even
That's
better.
bold words from a man made of stone.
Tal, smell my finger.
My
Me and
No.
Tal are just having having our own good time.
Yeah, we're both getting turned to stone.
Come on,
So
look at it.
you jump on the thing. Sorry, you jump on the. My thing was just acting funny for a second. You jump on the thing and you try to put all your weight on it to wrestle the thing down.
Was I supposed to get advantage because it's surprise?
No, surprise doesn't necessarily deliver advantage or something like that. It's actually just a
Also-
matter of strength versus strength, right? So you
Gotcha.
like it's one of those you successfully pin that thing's head down, and then it just has so much strength and might that it like hoists up and like you're not a very strong person. Despite you have your Witcher like quick reflexes and whatnot, but you're not like overly strong. What?
Not at all.
So he it picks its head up and starts like thrashing around and whatnot, and you're really trying to put all your might into trying to force this thing down. And unfortunately, you're not able to do so. That was your attempt to grapple. Now, Neil, remind me of these rules that we discussed 2 weeks ago. When you do a grapple attempt, is it sacrifice one of your attacks or your attack action to do the grapple?
So you sacrifice one of your attacks.
Okay, so like old school.
Special attack.
Yep, thank you. So it's like old school. So you did that and you tried, and you unfortunately you failed. You still have another attack on your turn.
So, Scott, I can't find anything for smoke bomb explicitly.
Okay.
It's not mentioned in the PHB or in
The smoke stick.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Then I will get the ruling for you in 1 second. What do you do with your other attack action, sir?
I will. Am I close to the face?
You absolutely are. Yeah, you're like sitting on its back, more or less, like an alligator, but again, it's big size. So like a large alligator, and you're trying to pin its head down, but it's made out of muscle. You can't do it.
All right, so I'm gonna use a superiority die to feint attack.
Mm-hmm.
To try to jab at its eye with my dagger.
So you more or less you're trying to make like a finite attack, go specifically for its eye with the dagger. Now, because of the fact that it is you're inside the smoke area, you're gonna have disadvantage to your attack rolls because you can't really see it.
Right.
Do you have anything to counteract that?
That fainting attack.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So make your attack roll with your dagger.
So that'd be normal.
I was so close to the natty. Oh.
So you don't know what this creature's AC is. You could always try to Witcher Sense to increase that. I don't think you have anything else to enhance it.
I'll just miss both my fucking attacks.
Wait, you can spend 2 superiority die in 1 turn, can't you? But you don't have precision. Yeah, you don't have precise. So
I also have 1 superiority die, and I just used it.
Just looking something up real quick.
I think precision is a bonus action as well, isn't it?
Wait, when did I pick? Did we rest? Oh, we did rest. Okay, so I actually do have 3. Because the last time
because we had
multiple days
of travel.
You have everything.
Okay, so the way smoke sticks worked in old games is it more or less made like an area of smoke that acted like the spell Fog Cloud. And so going to the spell Fog Cloud for 5e for the translation, for the transition, it's so it's not as big of an area, it's a much smaller area of Fog Cloud, right? It's point-centered, spreading around corners, and heavily obscuring the areas. So it's as per the rules of heavy obscuring, just so you know the effect of your item moving forward. And what heavy obscuring does is, where is environmental effects? Heavy obscured. Effectively blind. A creature that's heavily obscured suffers the effects of the blinded condition. And then blinded, you automatically fail ability checks that require sights. You have disadvantage on attack rolls. Attack rolls against you have advantage. So that, funny enough being saying, you disadvantage, advantage against him, those theoretically neutralize. You actually using your fainting attack would supersede, so those neutralize would supersede. You actually would get advantage on this attack roll. You're actually allowed to re-roll because 2 advantage and 1 disadvantage neutralizes 2 advantage.
Wait, where do I get the first
Fucking
advantage
rigged.
Say that again. Where did I get that first one from?
So when you're blinded, which both you and the
You can't
creature
defend
are,
yourself, so you can't
so
it's easier to hit you. But
Attacks
because you also can't see him, it's harder to attack him. So that counters each other out.
Yep.
Because he's blind.
Yep, because both it's like 2 blind people fighting at each other. It's just a sad little.
Yeah.
And the reason why, and just to explain the meta, the reason why D&D would do this is if 2 people are blinded fighting each other, so it's not a boring every round roll disadvantage like goes on for too long. It's neutralized for simplicity. So you actually with your fainting attack, which you might be thinking, oh no, fainting. Don't you have to be able to see that creature? Well, it says choosing 1 target within 5 feet of you. It doesn't say you have to be able to see the target. You clearly know where they are. They're between your legs. You can like feel out its eye with one hand and so, go right ahead.
My advantage dagger. Come on, baby. Woohoo!
Much better. So
Nice.
Roll
You
your
get to add the
damage.
superiority die to damage as well.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, what is that? 1d8?
Yes, sir.
2.
So you do 7 points of damage trying to get this creature's eye, try to stab it in the eye. Whether or not you successfully got the eye, you can't tell. You know what I mean, with where you are. But you know that you definitely stabbed this thing. You can definitely feel something happening. I do.
Okay, wait. When we fought it the first time, when I stabbed my knife into it, I could feel a lot of resistance on the skin. Did I feel a lot of resistance?
You do not. You do not feel a lot of resistance.
One more, boys. One more.
Okay.
Squish.
That is your
it.
round 2. That's your bonus action and your actual action.
That was my
it's
extra.
Bran, you... Yeah, this is round 2, though. Bran, it's now going to you. You heard, like... fuck you. You heard, like, like this happening not far from you down the hall. I imagine you, like, whip around, like, what the fuck was that? And all of a sudden, you get, like, a faint smell of smoke happening. You know, but you don't see anything. You just hear it. Do you head back up the hall, go forward?
Could I see the door from where I am or not?
So with the amount of distance that you've made so far, you're at the what you believe like this door, like you're like literally reaching it to pull open. You could like you were like we'll even say you pulled it open. Looked. That's like the stairwell going down to probably the front door.
Okay. I just shout, Leonard, is that you? Because in my mind, like, he's the sneaky one. He's the only one that would be able to get that close without me noticing anything. Because, like, Bastion's Bastion. He's jolly. He doesn't give much about stealth.
Yeah.
And Tal's, well, Tal.
So, Leonard, is that you?
I'm a little occupied right now. I'm not going to respond to that.
Okay.
No,
you probably hear a cuss or something like that. What do you do?
I think I'm going to keep making my way down to the door. Because, like, if I turn around and I see the creature, like, I don't know. If I smell smoke, it's like, I'm not gonna hurl fire into that. Leonard won't ever forgive me. His face is already fucked up. Like, my best bet's to open the door to get reinforcements in. I'm gonna keep making my way.
Are you gonna move your way down there? Or are you gonna like scramble your way down there, like quick as possible?
I'm gonna move just regularly.
Okay, so you're not stealthing anymore, but you're not throwing caution to the wind. You're just gonna move down there. Okay, so you make your way down to the door. More or less, you spend your turn going down the stairwell, opening up the other door, glancing really quickly to not be a complete idiot. You get to the front door. The front door does have a lock on it. It's not like some of the other rooms we've... was that this campaign or the other one? Yeah, it's not like one of the other rooms you've gone to. There's like a big wooden thing slapped across the front to like try to, you know... that's right, I'm thinking of my Dark Sun campaign. Not like one of those. The lock is actually a pretty simple, like, you know, the dug into the floor, you know, the metal rung. So you go over, you look at the door, you look about it, and you kind of like unlock those metal rungs and start trying to grab the door to pull it open. But you're not strong enough to pull it open this round. You just kind of like, that's your whole turn is going down there and doing that. The two of you guys on the outside see him pulling open the door. And so, like, I imagine very quickly you would go and try to assist in pushing the doors open or whatever. And we'll get to that RP and everything in a second. Now it's the creature's turn. The creature doesn't have an action because it rolled a natty 1, right? So that rule, it's good for the goose, good for the gander. So you doesn't have an action because that natty 1, but it does, because that was its move action, try to, like, thrash and pull itself free from, like, the area where the smoke is actually choking it and whatnot. So you guys are sorry about my throat. I was just choking on water. It is trying to move.
No, that I was talking shit.
So it is trying to like pull its way forward because it can still walk as its move action. As it tries to pull itself free, you can actually actively try to stop it, like dig your heels in the ground, try to hold it back. This is actually going to be an opposed strength check. So you get to roll your strength check, sir.
I'm not very strong. I rolled an 11.
Could be worse.
Could have been 10 worse, technically.
I put 2 R's in GM roll.
9 worse. I don't think you can roll a 0.
Oh, 9 worse, yeah.
So more or less, you're imposing because you didn't fully fail. You just slightly failed.
Oh, just mostly. Okay.
Partly. So you actually are able to more or less impose, like, despite like the fact that you have much weight on it, you are treated as like rough terrain. So you make it so the creature can only move so fast. These creatures, much like an alligator, don't generally move very fast. They just move like, you know, quick in the moment when they need it, right? So it's trying to pull free. Now the area of your smoke effect was how large, did it say?
10 feet.
10-foot radius or 10-foot diameter? 10-foot radius.
10-foot radius, yeah.
So because you treat it as rough terrain, it can only move 10 feet forward, which because you like through the thing like right behind, it's like one of those you're still inside the smoke but near the rim of it, as it's like trying to claw and pull itself free from being in the center of the smoke, but you're holding it back. So you actually succeeded to a degree. The other two of you, the door starts to open. I imagine Bastion quickly kind of like grabs the door and shoves it open, and maybe Tal probably pushes over the other one as well. And there he is, Bran, standing there before you. Probably has a bit of a look to him. You guys can converse freely for a moment.
Maybe you can help me with this, Daelric. It says fills a 10-foot square. So is that 2 squares?
So a 10-foot square. One 10-foot square means 4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
that's a 5-foot radius.
So that means it actually would be able to pull itself out of the smoke, and so it's out of the smoke at the moment, with you kind of like sitting on its back. The smoke's like right behind you, riding it, like trying to hold the thing while stabbing at it.
It is partially blinded though, from our understanding.
I'm getting there.
So the door's open. There he is. Probably has a bit of a look to his face. Who says what first out of the 3 of you downstairs?
Is everything okay in there?
Next break, puppy.
I think Leonard's fighting one of them.
Okay, let's get there as soon as we can.
The 2 of you roll into initiative. Highlight your tokens, please.
Oh yeah.
No, you highlight.
I would like immediately point in the direction where like the fighting's happening.
Right.
I wish the turn order part of Roll20 could pop out. So,
A 20 and a 1.
that
Okay.
is amazing. That's amazing. Sorry.
Hey,
Yeah.
you have combat music on?
Oh yeah,
like that.
yeah. I have the regular soundtrack. Thank you.
I'm the one that was like quickly like, yeah, let's do it too.
You were ready to go. Like,
Tal
"Whoa."
just like rushes past the elbow in the
over my
face.
legs or something.
You were like, yeah, let's do it. And Tal's like, yeah, we're doing it. Throws you on the ground.
So you guys immediately start jumping into action. This is pretty funny. Immediately start jumping into action, and so it's going to be Tal first. Just like I think he's fighting one and probably points towards the stairs, and Tal just starts booking it like up. Correct me if I'm wrong. Starts booking it up the stairs. So it took him, his whole turn to get here. That's like double move, all that kind of stuff. You're a very fast person. What's your speed, Tal?
So I move at 40 feet.
And you're scrambling, right?
Yeah, I can also step of the wind, so
It's up to you. You can roll me athletics.
feed me some information.
You can actually step up the wind to just freely succeed, or you can roll me athletics or acrobatics to get there without necessarily having to do that. The reason why I'm having you roll is because you're looping upstairs and around a corner quickly versus just distance.
So athletics probably wouldn't be particularly difficult. Would it absorb my bonus action?
Nope. That's what I'm saying. This is part of a move.
I'll do the athletics. Don't hit me with the 1 now. That's not what I need.
Are you happy with your roll?
I mean, I'm running up a set of stairs. If this is more than like a DC like 7, I'm mad.
I'm allowing you to ignore rough terrain. It's a DC 10. So average DC. So you make your way up the stairs, rounds the corner. You make your way all the way up around the first corner, up the stairs, around the second corner, start going towards it, and there you are, about 25 feet away from. About 25 feet away from where he was, because again he started like Bran started a bit ahead from where the creature is, and you see that it just literally just pulled itself free from the smoke with
What a sight.
with
You see a witcher riding a basilisk. When do you ever see that? That's amazing.
a witcher riding a basilisk, holding on to the thing, trying to like dig his heels in to hold it back, while literally a dagger is stuck inside one of the eyes, digging around and whatnot. You can actively see that he's like hacking a little bit and is blinking to like get the smoke out of his own eyes so he can see. And you see the creature, and the creature is looking in your direction and sees you, and you see its eye. Roll me a Constitution save before you do anything else.
Whoa! Rip!
Wait, what?
The DC's lower because it has only the one eye, but a natty 1 is a natty 1. As soon as you see that creature and you come around and you see what's going on, you take in the scene, your eyes are almost pulled towards its one eye. You see the dagger, the 1, and you can't help but look into the other. And immediately you start to feel every part of your being start to lock up and hold. You start to feel every part of you seize. Whew, that's a rough one. Why don't
I'm pretty salty about that.
Why don't we take
good time for the final break?
A quick break, and we'll come back for the rest of your turn. All right, we'll come back in one moment. How many DMs stop mid-turn? Pff, what a jerk. See y'all soon.
It's set in stone now.